We are joined by the Scar hype-inducing supersonic superheroes of Scardust. Yesterday we attended your headline show at the Reading 3. What would you say were some of the most memorable moments last night?
All of them.
You recorded a music video and it required a lot of coordinated crowd participation. How do you trust your audience so much to know that that would work?
Yeah, they're prog fans. They love complicated stuff.
You did a video themed around Bitcoin. Tell us a bit about the connection between the video and the message in the song.
The lyrics fit exactly with the story of Satoshi Nakamoto.
If somehow the person that is Satoshi Nakamoto ends up watching this, what would you say to him?
Prog metal is the Bitcoin of music.
I know that you have orchestra recorded on the upcoming album. I know you had two different orchestras. One is a mix of Jewish Arab orchestra and one of them is a Turkish orchestra. So what is the difference between what you did with them musically and why did you need both of them? Why couldn't one do for all the tasks?
That's a really good question. We actually had three orchestras. We had the Jewish Arab orchestra, we had the Turkish orchestra, and we had the strings quartet. For Unreachable, I was contacted by a colleague of mine who is the conductor of the Jewish Arab orchestra. And he offered to do a Scardust song featuring Hellscore, featuring his orchestra, and that he will do the orchestration. And we will work with his orchestra. And we sent him three options for songs, but I really hoped he would pick Unreachable because it's the most Disney-like song, and he did. It's the song that has to have an orchestra because it's just Disney metal. Who? So we wrote the band arrangement and the choir arrangement, sent it over to him, and he completed the orchestration. And he wrote it especially for his own orchestra, for the specific instruments, for the specific musicians. So it was very special because it was custom made for this orchestra, So it's like a Western orchestra, like a traditional orchestra, mixed with Oriental instruments like oud. And
you can find brass and woodwinds with oud and kamancha and stuff like that.
Yes, it's really, really special.
Nice.
His name is Nizar El-Khater.
Yeah, one of the best composers we have here in Israel.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very good.
And for the Turkish orchestra, we thought Rip has it started out with the guitar riff. And I think it was when Ol heard the guitar riff, he was like, this is an Oriental riff. It was not meant to be, but it clicked for him. And then we thought it could be super cool to write something with quarter tones. So it has to be a specialized kind of string orchestra, Middle Eastern, authentic, So I reached out to Orphanland because they've worked with a Turkish orchestra. They got me in contact with their guy, and Mumin Sesler, awesome guy, and the Turkish strings were recorded in Istanbul.
Wow.
Yes.
Yesterday after the show we got to hang out and chat a bit, and I was talking to your keyboardist Aaron, and he actually challenged me to come up with constructive criticism, which was a bit of a challenge because I was there scratching my head for 5 minutes trying to come up with things I didn't like, which was a challenge. But I would like to pitch the same question to you. Is there anything that you think could have been improved about last night from your own experience?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think the fact that we didn't perform for so long was, for me personally, a challenge when we started. I was so excited and seeing the big crowd with all my friends, and it was like whoa, okay. So and then it calmed down. But I think if we had more practice shows, like small shows, we've been little more there from the start without the wow. This is just for me.
I mean, it was far from perfect. I have a lot to say, but I don't think I would change anything.
Yeah.
So I think everybody did a fantastic job, and I had tons of fun. I think I need a few more days to digest before I can answer this question.
Okay, so you told the story of what happens in the mythological story that you tell in the song on stage. Can you first tell the people watching a bit about that?
Yes.
And then we will dig a little deeper.
Cool. Touch of Life tells the story of Pygmalion from the Greek mythology. He was a sculptor who could never find true love, and he looked everywhere in the world for the perfect woman, couldn't find her, so he decided to sculpt her. And so he did, and then he started living with her, dining with her, dancing with her, sleeping with her, until he fell in love with her. And so he asked Aphrodite, the goddess of love, to give her life. And so she did. They had a baby, whatever. This is how the story more or less ends, for what I could find. Yeah.
Okay, so I've listened to a lot of conceptual pieces in Prague. I would give as an example Symphony X's The Odyssey. What I've noticed is that when I hear this sort of conceptual pieces, they don't hit me as personally as something that I feel came from a personal place. So the more narrative a song is like this, the more I appreciate it on an intellectual level. It's aesthetically pleasing, but it's not that deep to me. There are exceptions, but that is why I want to ask you, is there any personal connection you have to this story and what it means to you?
Oh, yeah. But I think Yoav should be here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Yoav came up with this concept.
Okay, let's go.
I would
Yoav
love
is a
him
legend.
to
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
that.
I don't think we should say that in his name, but there is a deep meaning for this story that you have constructed, and we have developed together after he came with it and wrote a lot of the lyrics.
So maybe Yoav owes you a little video where he elaborates more about what it means for him.
Hi guys, really excited to join in. So about the concept of Touch of Life, I wanted to do another Greek mythology piece like we had in the EP Shadow, Shards, and I really liked what Noah and Or did there with changing the story a little bit and expanding it. So I started thinking about stories, and when I thought about Pygmalion, it really struck me that both Pygmalion and Galatea are basically two sides of the artist. One is the part in ourselves that strives to be better and take us to the next level in our craft. And the other side is the result of this process, which means that when I practice, I'm also Pygmalion, but I'm also Galatea. I'm also the statue. And I'm carving myself into being a better version of myself. And into that, I wanted to pour the despair, that the feeling that what I already know to do well is not difficult for me, and what I don't know is difficult. And I am never playing at the level I want to play, which brings me to a cycle of self-loathing, you can say. With that, I wanted to think about the characters themselves, because in the original story, they are portrayed as pretty normal people. And when you think about it, they are really not. Pygmalion is this guy that searching for the perfect woman. He's really good at making statues of pretty women. He likes women. He really loves women, but he hates them because they're never good enough. He thinks they can be more beautiful, and he wants to make the most beautiful woman in a statue, which is really weird because how can you say there's no beautiful woman out there and no one is good enough for you? In general, if no one is ever good enough for you, it's really weird. Yeah, so he isolates himself and he's working on his statue, and then he lives with it, and nurtures it. And this part, when we had talks, we had meetings about the concept and the lyrics, and throughout our talks, it reminded me of this TV program I once saw about people that are buying what's called real dolls. It's elaborated sex dolls that look real, and they're just living with them, watching TV with them, having dinners, which means Pygmalion is one of them. He just lives with a doll. And then he asks the gods to bring her to life, which is very weird. Like, man, stop for a second and think what you're doing. But it works. And then she lives, and then comes her part. Because if you're the most beautiful girl out there, what are you doing with this weirdo, right? I mean, you can get whoever you want. But at the same time, she's just a child. She was just born. So, like, in what cognitive situation is she? What we thought of, after the talks and the things I brought up, it was like, well, she has to leave him eventually. There's no way this girl, like, beautiful, pure, new soul, clean soul girl, is gonna be with this crazy bossy guy that just tries to tell her how she needs to be and what's beautiful and what's not. The minute she leaves the house, she's gonna meet new people. But there's no way she wouldn't want to go out there and experience the world. So this gotta be a real crushing experience for him, because she's gonna leave him eventually, and he knows it. And this is how I feel every time I practice, which is very sad, but very true. And I hope I was able to bring it to you, the idea.
Okay, there's 3 songs in Touch of Life: In Your Eyes, Dance of Creation, and King of Insanity. In Your Eyes is about basically what I just told you. A sculptor who could never find true love, and then he sculpts this statue of a woman of Galathea. Dance of Creation is Aphrodite giving life to the statue. It's the magic, the Disney moment, fantasy Disney moment. King of Insanity is where the dark twist happens. When she comes to life, 2 things happen. More than 2 things, but 2 main things happen. First is that he realizes that she's not perfect, because she's human now. And
So good.
she's human, so she cannot be perfect anymore. And the second thing is that she now has conscience. And she is now realizing, hold on, why am I with this person? Am I bound to this person? Do I have to be with this person? Like, maybe I can, do whatever I want now that I have my own will. So King of Insanity is this almost battle between those 2 extremes.
Wait till AI girlfriends start doing that. Okay, so as you were telling the story yesterday at the show, the sort of things you were saying now immediately popped to my mind. The first thing was, if you try to create the perfect person, the perfect person will only be perfect to the degree to which your vision is perfect and you're flawed. And the second thing is, if you somehow manage to create perception, you will then have to be worthy of perfection. So, to continue on that, I wanted to ask you two more things. One, do you believe that there is such a thing as a perfect person or perfect mathematical song or perfect anything? And is it a futile endeavor perhaps in your own striving to achieve perfection?
There is no such thing.
But then why do we try to get better?
I think it's a matter of this reality. It can't be perfect, but we admire the perfect, and we want to reach there all the time and seek it everywhere and in everything, not just in persons. I think it pushes us forward sometimes, but we need to always be aware that we will never reach this 100% because it doesn't really exist. It's really a zero. It's not 100. It's just stuff that exists, and it's here.
So, let's just talk music making. With the actual structure of the songs, something was a bit shocking at first, but has now almost become a pattern with Scardust song is that you do solo parts where everyone just takes a turn, and you just go completely out of the song, and then you find your way back into for another chorus at the end after like 4 solos where everyone takes the spotlight. And then on top of that, now we also have math metal riffs with the rip that we didn't have before. So, is there such a thing as too much in terms of what you can put in a song in Scardust?
I consider myself a maximalist. More is more.
More is more. More is more. I love it.
Yes. I think that sums it up. It's a matter of taste.
Mm-hmm.
And art history nerd here. There's throughout the centuries, there is you can see graphs go almost to the two extremes with minimalism and maximalism.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now we are, getting to a maximalism peak.
Okay.
So, because there is no genres anymore, I think, everything is mixed.
Yeah.
And I think the more you realize that,
The more you embrace it.
the more you embrace it, and the freedom of being able to do a part with just vocals and piano in 4/4s and 2 chords, and at the same song having the mad measure changes and key changes and polyrhythmics, and it's all within genre. It's all possible. So you have all the tools in your hands to portray whatever message or emotion you want to portray. I think that's beautiful. I love it. So this is why I think more is more, and just do whatever you want with your arts. Go wild.
But something that just hit me now that you were mentioning you have the simple 4/4 parts and then the extreme parts is that you're actually not maximalistic. You're moving between maximalism and minimalism. You are portraying those waves in your music.
Well, it's like calling Scardust metal,
Yeah.
right? Metal is the most extreme genre that Scardust plays. But we also play pop, jazz, classical music. Like we play many genres. Metal is one of them. We call it metal because it's the most extreme. So I call myself a maximalist because that's the most extreme. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, that was the final question. If you have anything to say as well.
It's been an honor to have you here.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Confused using body language. Yeah. You're the best too. Yeah, we are all the best. It's been a delight to be able to come over and to do this in person with you, because all the interviews we've done so far are over Zoom, and most of all to see the show and everything you've been able to put together after so much difficulty. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, and buy all their crap. Yes.
Yeah, it's looking good. Our crowd.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.